Mom was dressed in black, pretending grief, while Dad leaned back with that confident look of expectation. The lawyer, a gray-haired man with calm eyes, opened the folder and began reading. The usual phrases came first: the condolences, the formalities, and then the distribution of assets. My parents' faces relaxed when they heard their names, each assuming they'd get everything, as always. But then the lawyer paused. He looked at me, smiled slightly, and said, "And to my beloved grandchild, who stood by me when others chose absence, I leave my home, my savings, and my gratitude." The room went silent. I froze, unable to breathe. Mom's face twisted, her lips parting in disbelief. "What?" she screamed. "That's not possible. He wouldn't do that." The lawyer calmly handed her a copy of the will. "It's been signed and witnessed. Your father was very clear about his wishes." Dad shifted uncomfortably, his voice low but sharp. He must have been confused, he was old, maybe he didn't know what he was doing. The lawyer raised his brow. He recorded this himself. He was perfectly clear-minded. Mom slammed her hand on the table, eyes filled with fury. "You manipulated him. You must have made him do this." Her words stung, but I stayed silent. There was no point arguing with someone who had abandoned their own father for a vacation. The truth was evident, written in every moment they chose not to care. Grandpa had seen through everything, even when they thought he was too weak to notice. He knew who loved him genuinely and who loved what he provided. As they stormed out of the office, I sat there holding the papers, my hands trembling. I didn't feel proud or victorious, just sad. The house, the money, the recognition, none of it replaced him. But it did give me peace to know that he understood my heart, that all those nights I spent by his bed meant something to him. When I visited his grave later that day, I whispered, "Thank you for trusting me, Grandpa. I'll take care of what you left, and I'll honor you every day." The air in the lawyer's office felt heavy, the kind of silence that carries unspoken tension. I sat across from my parents, the same people who had walked out of Grandpa's hospital room without a second thought, leaving me to handle everything. Mom was pretending to cry, dabbing her eyes with a tissue she didn't need. Dad was tapping his fingers on the armrest, impatient, probably thinking about how much he'd inherit. The lawyer, Mr. Hawkins, was a calm man with silver hair and a deep voice, the kind that didn't need to raise itself to command respect. He looked at all of us before opening the folder on his desk. "Thank you for coming. Your father's will is very specific, and he wanted these words read aloud to you." Mom smiled faintly, confident. I could tell she was already imagining how she would spend the money.